Last question.
A lot of lawsuits against the federal government that have been ongoing, led by your office. We also do have the backdrop of fraud investigations happening as well. Can you just speak about how resources are being doled out in the Attorney General's office and who's being dedicated to fighting the federal government?
Our Medicaid fraud unit is hard at work. We've prosecuted and convicted over 300 people since I've been Attorney General for Medicaid fraud, and other people in our office who do agency representation. They're working hard. But but the people who work on what I call federal accountability, they're busy too, because the federal government has tried to deprive our state of money that we're entitled to by statute that has been appropriated to our state. And if we don't fight for it, we won't get it. And that will deprive the people of the state of Minnesota of resources and money that they deserve. And I'm talking about things like SNAP benefits, housing benefits, child care benefits, all kinds of benefits, National Institute of Health benefits, FEMA benefits that they've tried to unconstitutionally deprive us from. So do we have resource pressure? Yeah, my folks are working really hard, harder than they should have to. But we can walk and chew gum, and we're fighting fraud every single day. And let me just say this about fraud. Anybody who steals from a program designed to help poor people is no friend of mine. Right. And I'm all good to hold them accountable. And, the federal government, they're doing all this stuff that we don't need them to do. I wish they'd do some more things we do need them to do. Now, I'm not talking about local federal officials. They're doing their job. We worked with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI to fight fraud, and I'm very glad with their partnership. What I'm referring to is the substance of this lawsuit right now. This is not what we need. We don't need this, but we need all the help we can get to help make sure that every dollar that the generous people of Minnesota devote to helping others gets to those others.
AG, just one more, if I may. If the courts do rule in your favor here, are you confident that DHS and the federal government would abide by the judge's orders? And what would be the next course?
Yes, I am.
If they do not?
No, I believe that they will abide by the orders, because I believe that anybody who stands below an American flag, lifts up their hand and swears an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States will abide by the lawful orders of a court. And if they don't, I want everybody in this room to know that they are the ones who are expressing contempt for the rule of law. Now, having said that, you asked the what if question. Well, there are ample ways to make a miscreant violator of a court order obey that court order. One of them is a contempt of court, but let's not jump there. Let's expect good conduct and obedience to law, and that's what we expect. That's what we expect we're going to get. And I think there's a possibility that Mayor Fry wanted to talk a little bit more about what your citizens are going through, or maybe you covered that already.
I can add on.
Yeah, but I just think well, you want to go for it?
Just in general?
Yeah, just like what people are dealing with, man.
Yeah. I mean, we don't use the word invasion lightly. What we are seeing is thousands, plural, thousands of federal agents coming into our city. And yeah, they're having a tremendous impact on day-to-day life. And it's a negative one. And whether that's kids that are trying to get to school or businesses that are trying to open, that's police officers that are responding to 911 calls. It's just about being able to conduct daily life right here in our city. And look, this is not about fraud. When you have a fraudster, you investigate, you charge, you prosecute, you hold the person accountable, and then they get put in jail as an individual. They get put in jail as an individual. You do not hold an entire community or an entire city accountable for the actions of the fraudsters. That's not a novel concept. That's just the way this works in American society, and we should be abiding by that.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And let me say thank you, Mayor Herr. Let me say thank you to the men and women of the independent press of America. Yep. The reality is that the work you do is critically important to get the word out to the people, and we are grateful for it. And with that, we're going to conclude, but I'm sure any of us will be willing to talk to y'all offline. Bye-bye.